Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to see you. I recently got my hands on the new Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork Volume 7 Freedom Palette. Now, let's create a look using this eyeshadow palette. Okay, let's talk about these shadows. The video right here of me just swatching them and testing them out, and I have to say the matte shadows, they do feel like butter. They're so soft and I don't see a lot of fallout from these eyeshadow palettes. I love the color combination. I'm in love with the purple shimmers and the blue, and I'm excited to create some Christmas looks using this palette. Like, you know, it's the holiday season. We've got to get into it. I can't wait to create some looks using all of these shadows. Actually, I will say the purple, for example, this shade, which would be probably Guiding Light. Oh, they're kind of like duochrome too, because at one angle it looks like a different color from another angle. They're of similar texture. It's like foil. I want to say you could also wet these and get even a better color payoff compared to this shade here. This shade, they feel like same type of formula that was used to create them. They do look different from the other shimmers. I feel like these are more foil-like and pasty, if that makes sense. And then the other shimmers are just what you're used to for shimmer eyeshadows, and they definitely look like you could also use a liquid formula to get even, whether that be using your setting spray on your eyeshadow brush or using like a mixing liquid to get an even higher payoff on your eyeshadow, whether that be to create a liner or a cut crease. Let me also not forget to mention how versatile this palette is, because it's also magnetic, which makes it great for traveling and those who enjoy a condensed makeup kit. So you can use this palette as is or mix and match these shadows into other palettes. Okay y'all, let's get this makeup started. I'm gonna start with skin. I've already moisturized, and this is the moisturizer that I'm using. This is the Embryolisse. I am a combination oily girl, so I'm gonna be going in with this primer. I'm gonna be going in with this primer. This is from the brand called Pretty Blush, and it's a pore fill blur. Even though my skin is oily, I still have to make sure that it is drenched in moisture. So this also hydrates and nourishes the skin. So we're gonna allow that to dry down before I go in with this primer. So now, like, kind of remind me of toothpaste. Has no scent. But I learned about this primer from Muatitia. So I'm going to place this in my oil prone areas. I don't need to concentrate it anywhere else. Also adding some to the brow, because the brow itself can tend to get or look oily as well. Don't want to place it too far under the eye either, because I believe there needs to be free from dryness. It's supposed to look supple and, you know. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the NARS. I'm actually going to be trying out a new shade, a shade I've never tried before, but I bought it with the intention to use it on myself. If the shade doesn't work out, then definitely this will be going in my professional kit for my clients. So this is a NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Wahine. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I did look it up, and it's also medium deep 2.6. Sometimes use Syracuse. This is medium deep 1, and this is the soft matte foundation. But sometimes it's just a little bit too light for my overall complexion. Of course, I'm two-toned, and I recently got this it's Makeup Designery MUD liquid foundation. This one is in the shade M2. This too is leaning more towards yellowish shade, and It definitely is a little bit lighter for my overall complexion. The struggle is real, girl. But the reality is I can never really commit to one shade of foundation because we got all different shades happening on the face here. So what I will do today is mix these two because I do feel like this is gonna be a little bit darker, but let's see how it plays out on the skin. I was actually trying the shades on my hand here. It's definitely a little bit dark, and I picture it working out from my forehead. Let's see, we're gonna mix them. Definitely not my shade, but no need to worry, no need to fret. We'll make it work. I've come to realize that I'm a neutral girly, so I need to be perfect in between of the red and yellow undertones. One thing I don't like with this makeup designery foundation is that it's sheer coverage, and I enjoy a full coverage foundation. So, but I have to reapply more for that full coverage effect. And I find this foundation just a little bit greasy looking. Later you'll see me using my beauty blender just to absorb the product. Do I look like a scarecrow? Damn, is this thing too... Is it too bright? Because I'm looking like a ghost over here, but right here, it don't look too bad. That Makeup Designery liquid foundation is just a little too greasy for my liking. I mean, no disrespect. You know when you're used to something? That's just it. But I have it and I'm gonna use it, not waste it. So, you know, we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna be taking what's left of this black opal stick foundation. I honestly don't know the name of this shade because I would have depotted these for my professional kit. So I'm just using what's left in the container for my contour. For concealer, I'm going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Biscuit. I'm taking that same beauty blender I used to blend out my foundation to blend the contour, and I'll also be using it to blend my highlights. And of course, with every blend, you want to bring it down to your neck to make sure it's a seamless finish. I'm going in with my foundation brush just to ensure that my contour is not too low and that everything is blended seamlessly without any harsh lines. Okay, let's move on to setting powders. I'll be using the Laura Mercier. I'm always like second guessing and repeating myself when I'm saying that name. But we'll be going in with the Laura Mercier One Size in Ultra Pink and the Smashbox Halo in Medium Tan. This will be for my contour, under eyes, and overall setting. I like to use the Laura Mercier's translucent powder to set all my highlighted areas, and I also use this as a overall setting powder. In most scenarios, this is how I set my face. I don't necessarily have a pressed powder that I use to set at the moment. Now is where I will take the same powder puff, and I'm will be going into the One Size Ultra Pink and taking this on the outer corner of my eye, resting it right on top of my cheek. This to me also brightens this area and acts as part blush. Do you need to know the brushes I'm using too? I forgot about that. So I'm going in with this Sephora brush number 99, and this will be my contour and blush brush. I love this Smashbox loose powder. I love the mechanism in here. Is anyone else gonna start making palettes like these, where you just twist up for just the right amount of powder that you want to use? I've had this for a while, clearly, and I'm gonna use it until it's done, and when it's done I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, girl. So these will be my two shades for blushes. And you'd think, oh, that's too dark for you. Nah, girl. It actually looks beautiful on my skin. So I'm taking it really high on the cheek, as close as I can to the eye, just to make it have a seamless blend. And then the NARS blush is more of a peachy tone, which I also love. I think this complements my skin very well, but this also has shimmers in it, so it'll give a nice finish and also a bit of a highlight.
For brows, I'll be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in chocolate. And I'm using an angled brush to define my brows.
I'm also going to clean up with a little bit of concealer and whatever is left from my contour brush, just to clean up around the brows. Now I'm going to take whatever is left on my powder puff here and pretty much lightly set my brow bone and my lid. I'm actually gonna set the face real quick with this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Starting off with the shade. I want to go in with this shade. I think this shade will work really nicely as a nice transition color. Working on fluffing out the edges and bringing that also in the inner corner of my eye. Going back with the first shade on the outer corner of my eyes. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of this gray shade right here. Please excuse my dogs. And I'm going to try to fit that also lower than the crease onto the lid. Will act as a little bit of a transition color. Use it just a tad bit of a cool tone shade. Take another brush to buff out the edges. I want to go too crazy, but we need that depth and definition for the shade I'm about to go in with. Guys, I am still indecisive about the shades I want to use right now, and I don't want to go overboard and make it look too crazy, because anytime you try for freestyle, you know, sometimes it just turn out to foolishness, at least to me. Like, girl, you doing too much. You doing too much. I had to be testing them out on my hand again. This shade is called Guiding Light. Damn, I tried to pick it up on the brush, but ooh. Oh, wow. Cha! I absolutely love this. What? You know, sometimes when I watch these girls doing eyeshadows and they create this piece of excitement, I always be like, you're doing too much. You're lying. Stop going like at first. Yeah, see some sparkly and glitter, but really and truly, in person, it makes you go like, what? That is so pretty. So of course, I don't feel like I need to use a concealer or eyeshadow primer to cut the crease because this has such a great payout. It's already good enough on its own. I'm not carrying it too far out on the lid because I also want to add another color out there. I just hope it doesn't look too crazy. So let's carry this blue out here. All right, let's try with my fingers because I feel like I have to be doing too much with this brush. Not too crazy, right? Whoosh! Woo! With the fingers now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a bit of that purple and see how that looks as well. Ooh, child. I think the purple looks nicer. All right, so we've slightly covered that blue and I'm okay with it. Like, yeah. And that's the shade right here. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush. This one has no name. And I'm going in with a darker shade to define the outer edges. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of afraid of this black. I'm afraid of it, but I'm gonna tap just a little bit of it. Actually, let me take my time. Let me just ease into that color. I'm going in with this brown shade here, and I'm trying to stick to this one palette for this look. Now I'm gonna tap just a little bit. Ooh, yes. Oh, cha. Just one tap. One tap. And I'm winging that out. Of course, I'm starting from as close to my lash line as possible to then diffuse that outwards. And of course, when I feel like it's too dense in one area, I will use my finger as smudge to try to diffuse it even more from looking too crazy. Am I looking too crazy? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Going in with this same color that we've been using in the crease all time and taking that same pencil brush, I'm going to shade my lower lash line. So it's going to have a mix of that black but also with the brown. Going in with this MAC pencil, I'm going to line my lash line and my waterline. I'm opening the waterline with this cream eyeliner, so I'm just going to take this to the inner corner of my eye. Before I go in with lashes, I'm going to do my lips, and I'm lining with this NK Makeup Auto Eyeliner. And I use this as a lip liner. You know what? This is not what I had planned, but this is what I typically use to line my lips. And I'm going in with the ColourPop So Juicy in the shade Baby Panda. And I love, absolutely love this shade. It smells divine. It smells so yummy. Minty vanilla type of scent. Love it. And this is the completed look. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm beautiful. Yeah, I love my face. I love the lips. Very subtle for the dramatic eyes. I love a purple. This is my jam. I'm digging it. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate you sticking around to watch. Love you. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.